Hey everybody, Aaron here from Comic Booked, doing a comic haul from last week. These were the new comics for Wednesday, the something of December 2022. So it would have been last week Wednesday. Um, I don't know what that was, the 27th, 28th. So these are the new books that came out. I didn't pick up everything, obviously. I can't get everything, but I did get the new book from Aardvark Vanheim, which is Three-Wheeler Long-Winded Title Logo Annual. And it's giant size, 48 pages, a bunch of Cerebus comics, some very interesting stuff again from Aardvark Vanheim. Pretty cool. So check that out. I love the covers. You know, they always do some really cool covers with the new stuff they've been doing. Timeless, number one. Now, I know you're all like, Timeless? Didn't we have that last year at pretty much the same time? And yeah, we did. There was one last year in like February, I think. Kang, again, dealing with whatever he's dealing with and kind of previewing some of the events of the Marvel Universe. So this year, again, what he's seeing in some of the little slips when he passes through time. He sees the events of Dark Web, he sees the events of Sins of Sinister, he sees the events of Avengers Assemble, he sees the events of a couple other things that are going on, big things that are happening across the Marvel Universe. So this is a pretty good book. It has Kang the Conqueror traveling through time looking for the missing moment, some moment in time that he cannot access through time travel. We don't know what that is yet, but it's some missing moment that he's trying to find. So it's pretty cool. He runs into Myrddin, who is a Merlin type character, but we don't know who that is either. But it's someone, you know, when it's revealed, we'll know. We know that it's not Kang. We know that it's not Doctor Doom. We know that it's not Mr. Sinister, and I'm pretty sure we know that it's not the Spider-Man Sorcerer Supreme from the one alternate timeline, alternate universe. But we're not sure who this is. So he seems to be the bad guy. He's created an entire round table of genetically modified beings equipped with all kinds of technology to fight Kang. And it's a pretty good fight. So you should check this out. Definitely a good book. Kind of kicks off the events coming up for this year. So, all right, cool. And if you haven't read Dark Web yet, the first issue was out. Dark Web is the Spider-Man crossover with X-Men, I guess. Madeline Pryor and Ben Reilly, both clones, have decided that they're going to, I guess, do a rerun of Inferno in New York City again. So if you've gone through Inferno and the original Inferno back in the 90s, they redid it again a few years ago, and now we're back to it again. So there's a lot of stuff going on with Norman Osborn as Gold Goblin, so some of the things going on there. And then Venom is involved, and Venom has been corrupted by Madeline Pryor and the demons. And, you know, she's the ruler of Limbo now, in charge of Limbo. And Magic is kind of regretting that decision, I guess. So, yeah, pretty interesting series so far. Another very interesting series, and I've read the second book of this already, Plush, from Image. There's 3 covers, so there's and that. And if you can't tell from the cover, Plush is about, well, furry cannibals. Yeah, so, you know, you thought furries were creepy enough. These furries actually eat people. The story in issue 1 starts out with a guy who his friend talks him into going to a furry convention, and he gives him a bird suit to dress up in. They go to the furry convention. Well, he gets all the guy also happens to give him some water laced with ecstasy, and he has a lot of trouble with that when he's high. He pukes outside, and he looks around the corner, and he sees these 3 furries eating somebody, and they chase him, and he ends up getting arrested by the cops, and he gets taken downtown. Well, it turns out he's dating this woman who he's engaged to be married to very soon, who is also sleeping with the sheriff's deputy. So they give him a hard time, and then the furries show up at the sheriff's station, and that's pretty much where issue 2 kicks in, as they tear through the deputies, literally and figuratively, and then ask him to join them. You know, they're like, hey, you want to join us, or we can just eat you. And he's like, when you say eat me, would I be alive? Would I be awake for it? Or, you know, and that's kind of how we end the second issue. But it's a very good story, very bloody, but very interesting. So you want to check that out. Another great one so far from Boom Studios is Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. And I like this story. The artwork is great. This is Jason Aaron, as well as Alexandre Tefenki and Lee Luffridge. Really cool art and a neat story. It's a post-apocalyptic world. Mezzy, the girl here, is a ranger, a wilderness ranger, and Maceo is a shut-in who lives in his tower and has been there his entire life. And Mezzy shows up on his doorstep. Maceo helps her, and then then she leaves after he feeds her and everything, and he decides to pack up his life and go and follow her across the wasteland. So this is the second issue of this, and there is a variant cover that is very cool of Mace and Mezzy dancing there in the wasteland. So it's a cool story. It's a neat, it's got a romantic tint to it, but it's more about survival in the wasteland and two people who, for very opposite upbringings, coming together and teaching each other something. So it's cool. It's a great story. And Jason Aaron, always a great writer. I was talking about Dark Web. Here is Dark Web number 2. Dark Web X-Men, I guess. Dark Web X-Men number 2. So this is it's interesting, the X-Men and Spider-Man crossover stuff. New one from Scout, Category 0, Conflict. And this is something about a company that creates this drug, and from that drug, then they're able to basically militarily take over the world, I guess. There's these people who are called the One Percenters, who have certain powers, and they can be very, very dangerous. A little reminiscent of the old Wild Card series, where people have different powers, and then the government's trying to shut them down. But interesting so far. So good one to check out. The first issue of Dead Boy Detectives from Sandman Universe just came out from DC. Great new title on their Black Label, and that's worth checking out if you like that. Dead Boy Detectives has been optioned for a series along with the Sandman show on Netflix, so be watching for that soon. Issue 3 of Star Wars: The High Republic. This has been a pretty good story. This is the second volume, and it follows a Jedi who is trying to track down some information about something I don't remember. I started reading it. I'll pick it up once I get back into this one. But I know I read the first 2 issues. This guy was thought to be a murderer, and he turns out to be something else. And there's someone else who's killing people, and they're trying to find out why. And it looks interesting. So, first issue of Murder World Spider-Man is out, and I think there was a variant cover for this, or there was a Murder World Avengers as well. I don't remember. Something came out as well, I think last week or week before. So these are good ones to check out. Also, from Bad Idea, the first issue of Burning Man. Peter Milligan, Juan Jose Reap. Juan Jose Reap's artwork is amazing, very, very super detailed and great. If you like art, check this book out. It's an interesting choose-your-own-adventure type thing. And I guess in the back, when you're done, I haven't read it yet, so I'll read it soon. But after you read it, there's a place to send in your sticker and get some other version or something of this story. So I have a sticker, and I will send that in to find out what's going on here, and I'll let you guys know. So that's it for books from last week, the last week of December 2022. Stay tuned as I pick up my books for this week tomorrow, and I'll do a video this weekend on the new books for this week and go through the haul for that. I have some other books from prior weeks that I may show off as well in another video, but just stay tuned. Don't forget to check out my review of everything for the Dark Crisis series. It's a 7-part event that I've done, 7 videos on. 3 are out so far. The rest of them will be coming in the next week or so, and that covers all of the DC Comics event. And there will be another big video series on the X-Men Avengers versus it's Avengers versus X-Men versus Eternals, AXE, that happened for Marvel for this last year as well. So I have quite a big stack of books to read to get through that, but I'll summarize those each month for you in little videos, and you can kind of watch and go through what's happening with that as well. Find out how it changed the Marvel Universe, or did it? Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. It helps build up the channel, and then maybe I can do some giveaways coming up soon. Thanks for watching.